So in the pricing area and how trading organizations use pricing, we broadly categorize the issues in three buckets. The first up front in the value cycle is how the prices are being sourced.
What we have seen working with our customers is there are multiple data providers that provide data across different time zones, different timeliness, and different formats. So we'll have market providers who will send data electronically that can be easily assimilated into the systems. There are others who will send PDFs, emails, Excel spreadsheets, and maybe some other forms, number one. Number two is the granularity and the format of information that they're sending is not necessarily the same. So there's a task involved in normalizing this information for the use of the organization, and which is where what I am going to do with that information, the philosophy of that information usage becomes key. So what we have seen in working with our customers is they spend upwards of about 2 to 3 times of the amount they spend in purchasing this information to manage this information, which is a fairly large sum. And looking at the value they're deriving out of it, we personally feel, and the customers we have helped with, they feel that this is a pretty significant cost to make, and there should be more value that they get out of it.
You need to be able to build an infrastructure and the processes and the methodology in place for the rest of the organization to be able to use this thing.
We have seen examples where the system or the business function that is creating bids and offers for their customers versus the system function, the business function that is actually looking at doing some deal valuation. They're using prices, but from different sources and different times. And so clearly the nature of decisions that they're making around those transactions may not necessarily be consistent.
So we're seeing there are chances of inaccuracies, inefficiencies, and errors that might lead to decisions that are being made being poor, right? So that leads to be the third bucket of it, which is around decision making.
The simplest one is if there's a difference between the valued price versus the settled price, there are probably write-offs that your organization is doing, which while in an isolated form may seem small, when you aggregate that, it's a pretty big amount, number one. Number two is areas where we are making this organization is making decisions around commodity buying and commodity selling, with an asset in the middle that basically takes commodity A and converts that to commodity B. So I'm buying crude, running it to a refinery, and creating gasoline out of it. The crude buying decisions are being made on forward marks. The gasoline selling decisions are also being made on forward marks. But the asset, which is the refinery running economics, is being done on price forecasts. If the price assumptions across a forecasting, let's say program and a forward mark model is not the same, there's probably economic value that was misassessed and misrecognized or not recognized. So that's the impact of that.